In the middle of a remote desert, a giant crater has been burning continuously for more than 50 years. Day and night, flames rise from the earth, creating a scene that looks more like the entrance to another world than a real place. Locals call it the door to hell. The Karakum Desert of Turkmenistan is a vast, sun-baked expanse of sand covering over 70% of the country. Here, far from any major city, lies one of the strangest man-made geological accidents on Earth. For decades, local communities have lived with a constant orange glow on the horizon, watching a fire that never goes out. To the nearby villagers, the nickname "the door to hell" carries an unsettling, almost supernatural weight, far outstripping its novelty for modern tourists. But beneath the eerie beauty of the rising flames lies a fundamental question. In a region with no volcanic activity, the barren ground simply burns. Why this fire exists in the middle of a desolate desert remains an enduring mystery. In 1971, Soviet exploration teams arrived in the Karakum Desert to tap into the region's vast natural gas reserves. As their drilling rig bored into the earth, it unexpectedly punctured a massive, pressurized underground cavern. The sudden loss of pressure caused the cavern roof to give way. The ground collapsed, swallowing the rig and leaving a massive, open sinkhole venting methane. Faced with an uncontrolled release of toxic gases that threatened nearby communities, the engineering crew made a swift decision to ignite the escaping plume. They believed a controlled burn would safely consume the fuel source in a matter of days, allowing operations to resume shortly after. It was a standard industrial solution to a localized hazard. But the engineers had severely misjudged the immense volume of the gas reservoir trapped beneath the desert floor, turning a temporary safety measure into an uncontrollable, continuous burn. The expected burn of a few days did not stop. Weeks turned into years, and years into decades. Today, this accidental fire has been burning in the Karakum Desert for over 50 years, transforming a temporary industrial fix into an endless phenomenon. But the exact moment this fire began is itself a subject of debate. While the physical collapse occurred in 1971, local accounts and modern satellite reconstructions suggest the flames may not have been lit until the late 1980s. Regardless of when the match was struck, the enduring flame has outlived the engineers who started it. The question of how the crater formed has been answered. Now a more unsettling mystery remains. What subterranean forces are keeping this massive engine of fire alive in the dark? The fire's survival depends on the geology of the Amu Darya Basin, a massive sedimentary province beneath the Karakum Desert. Far below the desert floor lies a highly productive petroleum system, structured on a base of metamorphosed Paleozoic rocks and thick layers of Mesozoic sandstones. These sedimentary formations possess a high porosity of 15 to 25%, acting like a colossal underground sponge saturated with natural gas. Normally, a dense layer of impermeable caprock traps this massive fuel reserve thousands of meters below, keeping it sealed under immense geological pressure. But when the drilling operation breached this seal and the cavern roof collapsed, it tore open a direct pathway to the surface. This structural collapse activated a dense network of natural fractures and joint sets radiating outward from the cavity. These subsurface cracks, consisting of reactivated bedding planes and newly formed shear fractures, function as high conductivity pathways, allowing the trapped gas to bypass the low permeability of the surrounding rock and migrate rapidly upward. The primary fuel driving this engine is methane, a dry, light hydrocarbon. Driven by reservoir pressures of 30 to 45 megapascals, a constant column of methane rises through the fractured rock, feeding into the crater floor. At the surface, the physics of open-air combustion take over. As the rising gas reaches the mouth of the crater, it collides with a constant supply of atmospheric oxygen. This mixing of fuel and air creates a stable, turbulent diffusion flame. The escaping jet of methane, moving at velocities of 5 to 10 meters per second, matches the buoyant rise of hot air. The flame front anchors precisely where these forces balance, preventing the fire from blowing itself out even during fierce desert windstorms. The heat of the fire, reaching temperatures of up to 1,000 degrees Celsius, creates a constant thermal feedback loop, heating the surrounding stone and preventing the rising gas from cooling. Without a drop in reservoir pressure or a physical block to the oxygen supply, this subterranean plumbing network keeps the fire fed, turning a localized drilling hazard into a self-sustaining geological engine. This persistent engine of fire manifests as a massive scar in the Karakum Desert. The circular opening of the crater spans approximately 70 meters across, a footprint roughly equivalent to an American football field. Looking down into the pit reveals a vertical drop of nearly 30 meters, matching the height of a 10-story building. From the rim, the true scale of the accident becomes clear. A vast, unified abyss of raging fire and superheated rock covers the basin floor. Hundreds of individual flames lick upwards from the collapsed earth, creating a thermal footprint visible from space. The sheer physical scale of this furnace dominates the surrounding dunes. To stand on the edge is to confront a chasm of constant heat, a physical barrier that remained unexplored for decades. This immense, burning arena challenged anyone brave enough to step over the rim and attempt a descent into the flames. Reaching this isolated furnace requires a grueling 4-hour journey from Ashgabat, navigating unmarked sand tracks deep into the Karakum. This forbidding path has not deterred the scientists, photographers, and explorers drawn to its edge. In November 2013, Canadian explorer George Karunis became the first human to descend directly into the flames, spending 17 minutes on the burning crater floor to gather soil samples. While researchers study this extreme environment by day, it is at night that the site truly transforms. As the desert sun sets, the surrounding darkness is consumed by a violent, superheated glow. The sheer visual force of the fire dominates the silent sands, proving that the modern fascination with this accidental inferno now shapes its identity just as deeply as the mistake that created it. Behind the constant spectacle of the flames lies a harsh atmospheric calculation. The crater releases up to 3,000 kilograms of methane every hour. While burning this gas releases large volumes of carbon dioxide, leaving the flames unlit would vent raw methane directly into the atmosphere, a greenhouse gas 86 times more potent than carbon dioxide over a 20-year horizon. This environmental impact, alongside the loss of valuable exportable fuel, prompted presidential directives in 2010 and 2022 to extinguish the fire. Yet, snuffing out the flames remains a difficult engineering challenge. Simply capping the 70-meter opening does not stop the gas flow. Instead, the trapped pressure risks forcing methane through adjacent fractures in the Amu Darya Basin, potentially triggering new, unpredictable fires across the desert floor. Despite the terrifying moniker and decades of sensationalist claims, this burning pit is entirely devoid of volcanic activity. No magma rises from the mantle. No molten lava pools at the bottom. No supernatural force fuels the flames. Spectroscopic analysis and soil chemistry confirm a far more grounded reality. The phenomenon is entirely human-made, a surface gas fire sustained by deep geological plumbing. The glowing chasm is simply a massive open-air burner where escaping hydrocarbons meet atmospheric oxygen, keeping a colossal, unintended chemical reaction alive in the desert sand. Today, this burning anomaly is an urgent environmental challenge. As methane escapes into our warming atmosphere, the struggle to extinguish the fire remains unresolved. It stands as a haunting monument to human error, a flame we easily ignited, but still cannot put out. Subscribe for more incredible stories.